to release the projections that the original show had. They had never been released, and we got them to like make a contract and release the rights and everything.
That's so cool,
that's
dude.
the level of shows that we try to do, and it's completely
in the middle
free.
of New Bedford, Massachusetts, which is crazy.
And there's like other theater companies around here that do great work, but there's audition fees, there's costume fees. You have to pay for your kids to be in it, and we want it to be accessible to everyone, so they could even just try it. You know, because a payment barrier is such an easy way to discourage someone from trying something.
Yeah. Hey there, everybody. My name is Rooster Quade, and I am the host for the On One podcast, where we talk about real shit with real people. Now, if you don't know who I am, I go by the name of Rowdy Rooster, and I am an award-winning traveling tattoo artist based out of the East Coast. Before we can get started, I just want to say really quickly, thank you so much to our sponsor, Industry Inks, as well as to everyone who's helped us get this podcast started. It's those interviews and those constant support that allowed us to do this. So, without further ado, let's dive in. When our knees touch. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're on a podcast. Have you ever been on a podcast before?
I have, actually.
Which
just
podcast?
once. It's called the Rufus Rundown. I don't think it's on anymore, but it was a like sports commentary basketball podcast.
And you were just like, I want to be on this?
Oh, my friend runs it, and he asked me because I really love basketball, and I like I looked at it at a really like analytical level too. You know, where like I wasn't just watching it and saying, oh, like this guy shot it and made it, and like rooting as a fan. Like I really took interest in different schemes and play styles and stuff, and like kind of more how like a general manager of a team would watch basketball than like an average fan.
Got it.
I don't know why. It's
So
just
it was
kind of how I
nice
took
to have
it.
you on there.
Yeah, because I could look at it without like a general fan bias, even though of course.
How old were you when you were doing this?
This was probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
So when you're like 12, 13?
No, like 21. But it was cool, yeah. And that friend is actually pretty successful. He produces sports programs for a college out in North Carolina, and he's been on ESPN a couple of times. And he kind of just launched his podcast to have some fun with it. And he doesn't do it anymore.
Well, that's what I wanted to hear. What?
Yeah.
Before we get started, I guess we're already started. Welcome.
Thank you.
To the podcast. My name is Rooster Quade.
I am Pat Lawrence.
And we are on one. Yeah, you fucking nailed it. We've known each other. How did we meet? We met, it was obviously through the shop.
Yeah. I live pretty close to the shop, and I drove down the street one day.
Do you want to drop your address? Or?
No, I'm good. I saw the sign on the side of the building, and that's pretty much how it started. I had one tattoo at the time. It's a good tattoo. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it was your...
my circuit board here, but I was going into doing a sleeve, and I knew like the style of sleeve I wanted is not the style that the artist liked to do. He was an American traditional artist, and I was like, I don't want to have someone feel like they have to do this sleeve because it's work. You know what I mean? Like I wanted someone that would be interested in the project, and I had a great experience with my first artist.
I mean, the tattoo is I love it. It's fucking sick.
I have absolutely nothing but great things to say about my whole experience there, but I just kind of felt like I know it's not what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So I was
you went out and looked for something else.
Yeah, I just looked for something else. I felt like that was the responsible, respectful thing to do, and
I think every artist is going to appreciate that. Like when my clients are like, hey, you know, who would you suggest for XYZ? I'm like, oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And I think I kind of cultivate that energy where people know that they can kind of talk to me about wanting something else, and I'm not going to be weird about it.
Yeah, and especially like you want something that your artist is passionate in, because then they're really going to go above and beyond because it's something they're excited about.
And so you were like, Rooster, will you do black and gray?
Eventually. Well, at the time, you were posting a lot more black and gray than you were. And it like I had seen the I think it was like a cardinal or something you did on Tony.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I had known eventually I wanted to move it up into color.
Yeah.
And I had seen that you also did color work, and I was like, oh, maybe there's
something
here.
This is before I really like locked down my Instagram and like kind of figured out the marketing portion of it and just kind of like branding a certain way. So yeah, I was still posting a lot of black and gray, but it looks sick. It's a great tattoo.
It's a great sleeve, and I think really having the transition between the black and gray, especially with it being a memorial piece, that it transitions so well, and it makes the color just pop that much more.
It's cool to look at that sleeve that you have and to like think about all the different, because I can even just like with the wrist right there, the different things that motivated me to lean into like that alone reminds me of a specific type of artist that I was like really fascinated with at that time, and I was like, oh, I just want to do stuff like that and incorporate it. And then like the lightning, I remember being like, I saw someone do lightning like that with the color on the outside, the white on the inside, and I was like, that's cool. Mix that in with the black and gray, and then obviously you see the transit, so you can kind of like see where I was at any given point throughout the whole piece, and it's so wild to
and
look
I
at
think
it.
a lot of it too, like thinking back, I remember our first couple sessions together, like I was so nervous when I was driving to get this lighthouse done. And I had been tattooed before. And I just remember I was on the phone with my girlfriend. Shout out Chelsea. I love you so much.
We'll post a super great photo of her.
Everything to me.
Yes.
I just remember being so nervous. And I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, it's a new artist. Like, I'm afraid for the paint. I don't know what it's going to be, you know? Like, and then it was just such a good experience that I was like, I just couldn't stop. I just kept getting tattooed like every single month after that. And I just remember like, especially going into the end of the sleeve and like this little like design at the end, I just remembered like we were on the third session of it, or the second session. And I was like, hey, I think I like sleeves that have a definitive endpoint. Like I think I like that more than
just
sleeves that fade
like,
out.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, let's see what we could do. And you kind of just drew on my arm, and I was like, this kind of fucking rocks. And you know, that was like the first time where I was like, dude, I'm just gonna kind of let him do his thing. You know, and that has turned into a lot of great tattoos for me. But that was like the first thing I point to where I was like, oh, you traced the rubber band around, and then you drew this design on with pen, and then we kind of refined it a little, and it was pretty cool.
I talked about that today, the rubber band trick, because the lady I was working on like a garter belt.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, why is it going to take so long? I was like, dude, getting a perfect line around any part of the body is tough. Getting a perfect line around your thigh, right, like where it runs under the butt cheek, I'm like, it's impossible. Like, it's so hard. It's going to take so much time just to get it right. She's like, oh, okay. Yeah. But I was talking about how like specifically the rubber band trick on wrists. So I was like, I don't have big ass rubber bands for your thigh. So that's pretty funny.
And like that, like small stuff like that, I think just a little off topic, small stuff like that really sticks with me, like as a person. Like I could forget something very important to my own life, but if you tell me a very like minor detail about your personal life, that sticks with me because it's like vulnerability, you know, it's like an exchange of something. And I don't know why, but that's just the kind of person I feel like I am, where I really like hone in on stuff people tell me about themselves, because
you're one of, and this is one of the reasons why I'd call you like, you're one of my best friends. Don't cry. I remember the first time I went out to play arcade with you, you gave me a kiss on the cheek. Your girlfriend was like, he's been wanting to do that for a long time. I was like, yeah, that checks out. But like, you were like, guys, Roosters here, Roosters. And I was like, bro, I remember at the end of the night being like, hey, I would love to hang out with you, but you got to treat me like a regular person. Yeah. But one of my favorite things about you is that anytime I've ever said something, even just in passing, you show up with like a certain flavor of candy, grape, or grape this, or you were one of the first people that gave me the cheese whiz and fucking whatever chicken feed or whatever you guys call it. You like the what are those little crackers?
Triscuits or
not Triscuits, the yellow ones.
Cheez-Its? No, I don't know.
Whatever, and the fucking can of cheese and shit. Anyway, like you were one of those people where I was like, I posted about something on my Instagram 5 months ago, and you brought it to me today. That's insane. So you are a super thoughtful guy. You're one of the sweetest people.
It's not even like something I try to go out of my way to do. It's just it just happens. You know,
it's annoyingly nice.
It's just something I just lock in on things people like share, and like that's just the thing, you know.
You're a good old boy. You speaking of good old boy, you also help. Do you run? Do you the nonprofit?
So I'm the assistant director and stage manager of South Coast Children's Theater in New Bedford. We're a nonprofit organization, and we provide completely free tuitionless theater to kids 1st through 8th grade.
Yeah. And it's good.
It's good. Yeah,
It's better than you think it would be. Yeah. Like I remember you. Which one? What was the Western you did?
Oh, the gunfight at the bingo.
You'll have to send me a photo because I want to post a photo.
Yeah, I will.
And I remember being like, I'm gonna go to this thing, and my expectations were pretty low because I grew up doing theater too, you know. And I got there and I was like, dude, fucking Patrick with this shit. This looks great, man.
And
90% of the tables were reserved, but it's fine. I just sit in the back like a peasant.
And that's one of our like low budget fundraiser shows where it's just parent volunteers. So we kind of get who we get. And my uncle actually wrote that play.
It was so great.
In like
it was funny as fuck.
3 months, you know, and we do like big name shows for the kids, and we put a lot of money into it, and we budget and we fundraise and we do all this stuff. We have very like high end sets and like projections. We rented a multi-$1,000 projector for our last show, and we got the production company who wrote Diary of a Wimpy Kid, the musical, which we just did, to release the projections that the original show had. They had never been released, and we got them to like make a contract and release the rights and everything.
That's
and
so
like
cool,
that's
dude.
the level of shows that we try to do, and it's completely
in the middle
free.
of New Bedford, Massachusetts, which is crazy.
And there's like other theater companies around here that do great work, but there's audition fees, there's costume fees. You have to pay for your kids to be in it, and we want it to be accessible to everyone, so they could even just try it. You know, because a payment barrier is such an easy way to discourage someone from trying something. And that was like the main thing that my uncle and his colleagues were thinking when they founded it. And we're going on, I think, our 18th year or our 19th year, and I've been there
since. As old as you are.
Yeah, I started in like first grade, and I just never left.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I love it. And Chelsea does it too.
Yeah, Chelsea is the assistant choreographer, and that's actually how we met. We were in a production of Shrek the musical together.
Are you going to propose one day, and are you going to do it in a Shrek costume?
No, probably. I was Papa Bear, so I feel like I have to do that.
Okay. I mean, that's a pretty good... You're like, hey, so this is a weird request, but tonight I need you to wear a specific outfit.
She was Peter Pan, yeah. So.
I'll help facilitate if necessary.
Yeah.
No, it's super cool to see all the different things you do. I know that you're invested in that. Obviously, you've done this huge you just sent me a picture this morning of your huge transition from like there's an early photo of you and Chelsea when you guys were how old, do you think?
Oh, that was it's probably 19 or 18.
Dude, you look like an actual physical
different person.
You look like a crackhead. Your eyes are sunken. You're super thin and gaunty, and you're just like, eh. And then the photo of you now, I'm like, I mean, you look great, dude. You look,
thank you,
all fucking tattooed and shit.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. It just kind of happened naturally, you know. I just started retaining the weight, you know. It's good, but
you look great.
Yeah,
man.
I feel way better. You know, I had such confidence issues back then, and like wearing the tattoos and stuff. Honestly, it helped with that so much. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. And it's such like a cliche, stupid thing, but it's like I just want to have my arms out. You know what I mean? And like it's a little bit chilly. That's fine. I don't need to have a sweatshirt. You know, because my tattoos are out. Or like you're out and you see.
What do they say? They're like you see the girls in the Daisy Dukes. It's like it ain't too cold to hoe.
Yeah, hoe never gets cold. Yeah,
hoe never gets cold, and we're just hoeing it up with arms out. Or
like you see someone out that has tattoos, like at a bar or something. You're like, oh, I gotta take my sweatshirt off. I have tattoos too. You know,
it's like the Jeep wave.
The Jeep wave.
So,
Oh, how long did that take? Yeah, that's usually the question. Oh man, that's crazy.
How much money did you put into that? I think realistically, and without a shadow of a doubt, you, out of all my clients, have spent more than any other client.
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna ask you to say it out because I don't know who you don't want knowing that. But like, it's probably it's definitely double than the person behind you. Like whoever's in second place doesn't even have half the amount of money you've invested into this. I mean, we did you did a convention recently. Actually, we did two conventions. We did a little birdie, and then we just did a huge piece. Giant thigh piece.
Oh man,
all the way down your calf.
Yeah.
How was that?
Man, honestly,
because most people die.
It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Why was it easier?
Because I listened. I cut caffeine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I ate red meat and potatoes for days leading up, and I drank at least 32 ounces of water for 2 weeks leading up.
And lots of sleep.
Lots of sleep.
Those things, if you can do those things, you're still going to feel the pain.
Right.
But your body's going to take it.
Oh, yeah.
And I try to tell people all the time, I mean, I just got onto Hillary because we were working on her back. She's like, it hurts so much. I'm like, you got to cut caffeine.
Yeah.
And what she heard was cut coffee.
Yes.
But what she didn't think was
soda,
tea.
Yeah, tea.
Tea. So I was like, bro, she's like, I was like, what is that? She goes, tea. I was like, that still has caffeine. Caffeine directly affects how it's your pain threshold.
And it was crazy too, because I had never sat for longer than like 4 hours. And it took 4 hours just to line the piece, like with light shading, but no color. And I was so nervous for this. And again, you can ask Chelsea, like I had a full sleeve at this point, most of my left arm done with little patchwork stuff. And I was like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be able to take this. Like, I booked the whole day. I really want to get it all done so we can enter it. And I was like, I'm so afraid. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this. And she was like, this is so cute because like usually you just show up and get tattoos like on a whim. And I would like to think I have decent pain tolerance for tattoos, but my problem is the blood. Like I would bleed so much when you would tattoo me. And I feel like
it's also different styles, because like with your space shit, oh my God, I'd spend 4 hours, but in like a 4x4 inch cube. That thing we did 9 hours, and the stencil was like this long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just a giant fucking mag, which everyone's different, but like me, the sharper, pointier, the fucking more concentrated the pain, the worse it is. So like thin lines, the worst.
Yes.
Regular lines, sucky. When you start getting into mags and stuff like that, it's like, it's not blunt. Bad. It's not nearly as fucking bad, which is why this big piece is easier.
I think lining hurts way more than shading.
Yeah.
And
to a certain point. And then after you just get raw, you're just like, fuck me.
For sure. And that was kind of the point with this one, where you had gone over the hair with the lines, right? And then you shaded it black, and then you went brown. And then by the time you got to the yellow glow of the lightning on it, that was when I was like, oh my fucking God, this hurts like a son of a gun,
You can cuss, it's cool.
Yeah, I know. It just felt like to say it there. That was the point where we were going over it like the fourth time, where it was really like, oh my man,
Yeah.
But the worst part was just laying on my hip for that long. And eventually I started just shaking.
Yeah, I remember when I did my 2-day collab with Mizo and Andre, my hip on the opposite side and my shoulder on the other side, I had a black and blue bruise.
Yeah.
From like these two grown men just being on my hip for 2 days back to back, 11 hours, 12 hours back to back. And the tattoo sucked. I wanted to die. But like the bruise was the worst part.
Yeah.
Because the entire time I'm in pain, I also am so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
And that's what sucked too, is like, there was one point, my friend Corey, he drove me, thankfully, because I knew like there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to drive home after.
And then you drove back the next day too.
He drove me back the next day too, so we could show it off and walk around. And at one point he was trying to talk to me, and I was like, dude, I love you, but I need you to shut the fuck up, because it was when you were going over the third time. I was like, this hurts so bad, I can't think,
Yeah. You are literally irritable.
Yeah.
I have people all the time when I'm tattooing them, and they're like respectfully, like, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear you. I don't want to see you. And I go, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so sorry. I was like, no. I get it more than anyone. I fucking get it. It's as an artist who pretty much just tries to do big stuff. I put my clients to that point almost every day.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like a lot of these other artists that are just doing, little dinky little tattoos and shit. Where like, we get to just shoot the shit and laugh and giggle all day. No, I'm gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay me a lot of money, more than you probably are comfortable doing, and I'm gonna hurt you. And then you're gonna walk out with a really sick tattoo that's gonna continue to hurt you for a few days.
It's a showpiece too, and it's like, people will stop you and ask you about your tattoos. At least for me, I get stopped a lot. I was carrying around your business cards for a while and just handing them out to people, because I was literally getting stopped that often. Especially in the summer, where I have more of like the color peeking out and stuff. Because
the top of that space sleeve is, I say it all the time, I don't want to ever do it again because of how much time we put into that piece, but it's one of my favorites.
It's insane. And especially like too, like you have like the turn here and like you see it starting to glow. That's like one of my favorite parts, is like,
it's so fucking bright.
It just starts to glow from this darkness, and it's just like, oh wow, that's interesting. What's that about? Why is this arm
Who knew
blue?
This episode would just be about this sleeve?
I know.
No.
We both did.
No, yeah, I was like, Pat, so what's funny is I was going to have a different interview today. I was going to interview Mason's girlfriend, but they had something come up, and so they had to cancel. And so I was like, Patrick, do you want to come get interviewed? You're like, yeah, what are we going to talk about? I was like, I don't know, just come. I'll see you. I could shoot the shit with you all day any day.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the thing too, is like, I've met so many wonderful people through being tattooed that it's just one of my favorite things now. Like, And I think I'm probably done getting tattooed for a decent while.
You just bought a house?
I did just buy a house.
Congratulations. Beautiful house.
Thank you.
It's annoying. We were supposed to shoot this episode
in my kitchen.
In your kitchen. I really want to, and I might still do it. When you move in, I might still do another episode with you where I'm like, tell me about your life moving into it and buying a house and the struggles of that, because it sucks, and I've been there.
Yeah. Very stressful. But
no more tattoos for a minute.
For a little bit, and I think too, I'm at a good spot where everything looks done. Like we have plans for my leg to keep going, but it's in a spot where it looks like good. A finished tattoo, and that's what I like, because the reason I kept coming back so fast is because it didn't look done, and I wanted it to be done.
Yeah, it's I get it.
But now,
I'm at that stage now. I just got some more work. This sleeve's going to take us forever.
Oh yeah,
it's going to take us forever. Derek is super detail oriented, and I'm going to have a half looking done fucking arm for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's going to be great too, because people are going to ask you, oh, what are you going to keep doing with it? Because that's what I kept getting. And I was like, oh, we have a plan. But I find myself now, like, before I'd be like, oh, look, that dude has a tattoo. That's pretty sick. Like, tattoos are cool.
But now you're critical of them.
Now I'm critical.
You actually know what a good tattoo looks like.
I see tattoos all the time, and I see people that I know getting tattoos and posting them. I'm like,
Everyone in Oklahoma. Everyone in Oklahoma.
Like, they'll get these, like, simple line work tattoos, and I'm like, that is busted. That is bad. And I will never say that to someone, because it's so rude, and like it's on them forever, and like
you don't know what's good until you see it.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, dude, I remember thinking that this was the greatest thing since sliced bread, and now I look at tattoos and I'm like, I don't want anything except for the shit that's going on that stage. If Mizo, if Andre, if Derek, if Angela, if Evan, if Andy, if those motherfuckers ain't doing it, I don't want it on my body.
Well, that's how I'm at now too. I'm done with small. Like, I'll get some small.
You still, you got like
I got some room to fill
stuff
out.
You gotta do, yeah.
From I just want big stuff now. I want big, bold, like flowing pieces, and that's the main thing with this.
You want your arm or your leg or
cohesion.
your back or your anything to just be like a piece of artwork.
Exactly. And no matter what angle you look at it from, it's part of a bigger picture, and it looks like something.
It draws you in to continue to look all the way around.
And that's why, I have a couple of friends who have smaller tattoos on both their arms or both their legs, and they end up regretting it because they're like, oh man, I don't know how to work this to a sleeve. I wish I had a sleeve,
Pick one spot. This is my bullshit leg.
Yep.
And everything else I'm getting rid of. Like this, I'll probably get rid of this, but I'm gonna wait till I have finished my stomach and my arm and my leg and my neck and all that shit. But eventually this is gonna go too, and I'm probably gonna get rid of everything. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get rid of everything till everything is just one.
What you want, yeah.
Yeah, I just want it to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool to see the difference in how the careers changed. Going from I thought, dude, when I first started tattooing, I wanted to do black and gray stipple artwork. I just wanted to do illustrative stippling. That was it. Just take a fucking liner, and that was all I wanted to do. And now I'm doing these giant fucking color pieces.
Award-winning pieces.
Award-winning pieces where people travel from, I've got a lady from Vancouver, flies out a couple times a year. I've got people from, California, Michigan that drive and get, I got a couple who came just to get some of the smut tattoos that I did. Yeah. It's crazy to see that someone can look at something on the internet and be like, where the fuck is this guy? I want to go get him. And it's
so how do you really balance that? The whole networking between getting your art out there, but still being I still look at you as he's a hometown rooted guy, but you have to have this. I don't want to say it's a persona because it is who you are. You're a very genuine person.
There's definitely a persona to the industry. I am different when I'm Rowdy Rooster versus when I'm just Papa.
For sure. But still, I still feel like you're a very you are one of the most genuine people I know. Where you're this is me. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of here.
Kick rocks, yeah.
I don't change for anyone. That's who you are, and that's something I respect about you a lot, but
Thanks.
You also have to put yourself out there and be marketable and get these opportunities and use social media, and I'm just a little interested to hear about that.
It's all business.
Yeah.
I it's not my first time being in business. I was 21 and I was a red coat for the city of commerce for the city of for the city of Lawton. I owned a business before. I've managed businesses managed things my entire life. So like if you think of everything as a business standpoint, it becomes really fucking easy.
Yeah.
I approach the way I charge and the way that I work, even just as an artist right now, where as a business, when I'm not here, I'm not working. I'm not on the clock. So I put everything that I need to do on the clock. I draw on the clock with my client. It also renders a better product. It renders a faster product. I spend less time drawing. My clients feel like they're part of the process. Everything's better. And that prevents me from raising my prices like I would have done earlier this year. I market myself like a business. I'm selling something when I talk to someone. And so when you sell something, you put a little on it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even if you just being an electrician, you sell something every day, whether it's just being like, you should really get this, whatever conduit, because they make you again, you could be selling it for the right reasons. You're not trying to upsell them or anything like that, but you're like, hey, if you're going to do this, you need to do it right.
Right.
When I first started tattooing, my thing was like, I treated every client like a really good friend, like a close friend. So I'd make fun of them a little bit and then treat them really nice. And that was a business strategy to get them to feel comfortable, to feel like they could trust me, even though I've only been tattooing for a week, a month, a year, whatever it was. And it was also a really nice way to make tips. People tipped you more when you were super outgoing, and outgoing often looks like giving them a hard time a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not just, oh, hi, some artists prefer to do the, kiss ass thing, and I don't do that. I'm going to say real shit that's nice, and then I'm also just going to give them a hard time. That's kind of like my business strategy. But to create this persona, I figured that out a little bit later, right? I found that nobody wants to get tattooed by just a normal person, right? Because it's kind of the fun of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like the circus. When you go, you want to be entertained. So I created this persona of Rowdy Rooster. Rowdy Rooster is a little extra rowdy. He's a little bit kind of unhinged. I talk about shitting myself all the time. I talk about my sex life. I talk about, being polyamorous. I talk about anything that most people would be like, oh my God, I can't believe he's talking about this. This is crazy. Because that's part of my persona, and it disarms people and it makes them feel, oh yeah, dude, you got to go get tattooed by this guy. He's fucking crazy. His life is crazy. He talks about all this shit, blah, 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 blah. And then with that, it comes like how I dress myself. I remember when I first moved out here and I started tattooing, I wore a long sleeve button-up dress shirt every day with cowboy, with like just regular denim jeans and a cowboy boot, and I had a comb over, and that was me. And I didn't have a lot of tattoos. You could see a little bit on my arms and stuff like that, but like I was very clean cut, So before the head tattoos and all that stuff, the piercings, everything, the rings, everything. And I remember being like, I'm gonna buy my first pair of black skinny jeans. And I bought a pair of, combat boots, and I started like wearing t-shirts more often, and I started showing a little more skin, and started getting tattoos in certain places. And I really started to fall into that tattoo niche. And then I was like, I gotta go back to my roots a little bit. I'm gonna bring the cowboy boots back. I'm gonna bring the belt buckle. I'm gonna bring a little bit of home, a little bit of Oklahoma with me back into this persona. And people like that. I bought my first cowboy hat in my entire life last summer, and I put it on, and I was like, I hope this lands. And everyone's like, it looks like you've been wearing it your whole life. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And so like that became a part of my like persona, is the guy with the cowboy with the curly mustache. The mustache I didn't have a mustache when I first started tattooing.
Yeah.
I grew that out during COVID. That was my COVID experiment. And I was like, I'm gonna grow my facial hair out and see if I could do something with it. And now I'll never shave it again, But I think that the balance and the persona and everything, it really just comes down to prioritizing my family, which is where the balance comes in. When I'm not working, I'm not working. Everyone wants to be more present in their household with their families. Tattoo artists don't get that option. You sure as fuck do. And you have a right to like stand by that, and your clients are going to respect that, especially if they respect your work. The persona, it's fun. I like it. And you're right. Most of it's me. Most of it is this unhinged, uncomfortably genuine person. I'm as authentic as I can possibly be. And I think at first it started off more as a persona of like, I just kind of want to be crazy.
The you want it to be.
Yeah, and now it's like, this is who I really am.
Yeah.
I've found that this is who I really am, and anything other than that was just me kind of limiting myself
Yeah, it's interesting the balance you're talking about too. And a lot of times, like you say, we go out to the bar sometimes, and whenever I'm out with you and I have friends there, I'm like, hey, he's not working. Don't go up to him and tell him what tattoo you want. Like same thing with like Z or Nicole. I'm like, don't go tell them your idea for a tattoo. They're not working. They don't want to hear it. There's channels you go through to do that stuff. They're just people hanging out.
Yep.
You know, they're not, oh my gosh, he's a tattoo artist. And like, I know you guys have to network for yourself and you're in a service industry and you need leads and stuff, but I'm very protective over my tattoo artist friends because they're my friends, you know? And it's the same way, like, I don't want to be at the bar and someone comes up to me and goes, hey, you know, I got this thing in my basement I want you to take a look at, you know? Like,
no one wants to do that.
No one wants to do that.
There's a time and a place. There's a time and a place, and it often looks like, I know a lot of tattoo artists who, when they go out, and I do the same thing, you know, I'll intentionally look for a way, if I'm at my favorite coffee shop, to drop the fact that I'm a tattoo artist because those are potential clients. But it's kind of like when I'm comfortable.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Versus like once you become kind of known in an area, and then like you are like you're just trying to enjoy your meal, and your server's like, oh, I know you. I follow you on Instagram. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's going to take another 15 minutes before I even order my food. Yeah. Great. You know, there's times and places, but perspective, you're known.
Right.
People want to work with you. So like I try to be humble about it too, to where like, again, if someone's coming up to me and taking their time, I try to show them that I care.
Right.
So
the respect.
Instead of just being annoyed by it, I try to be more like, I would love to work with you. I'm off the clock.
Yeah.
But message
shoot me a DM.
Yeah, shoot me a DM.
Yeah.
And so if you make it personable and you like make it kind of quirky or whatever, people are like, oh yeah, absolutely. And then they feel even better because now they're actually making a step towards that.
You had a good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
You ever get burnt out? Like, I know now that you're focused in on like the same style, or is it different enough between every tattoo? Because I started working really young. I'm a licensed electrician. I went to high school. I went to a vocational high school, went through the electric shop, and got a co-op job my senior year. So instead of going to the shop class during my senior year of high school, I got a job through the school. I was able to make some money and get some experience. And I remember like, oh, I don't have summers off anymore, you know, like boom, just like that. And now I'm working full time, and I'm going to the same building every day because I was an industrial electrician. So I worked in the same building. I was fixing machinery when it would break down. I was implementing new machinery into the process. And
it's easy to not get burnt out at a young age.
Yes.
Because you have the body for it and you're excited.
The drive, and I was working towards getting my license. So I had a big goal of getting my license and, you know, really like getting my name out there as a good electrician and like learning everything, because I did a bit of a niche field because I worked a lot with like PLCs, which are programmable logic controls. It's like mini computers pretty much. And basically it's like light switches, think of it. So like the computer fires the light switch at a certain time and it needs to see a certain thing to turn the light switch on. But it's in all actuality big motors or big like valves and stuff to like make the machines operate. And not a lot of like regular everyday electricians know how to do that.
So you were in a specific field.
It was a very niche part of the trade, but I was really fucking good at it for no reason. Like my brain just connected to that part of the trade.
And did you end up getting burnt out like doing all of this shit?
Eventually, yeah. But I think I was more burnt out of the full-time work grind. And like I didn't take a vacation for the first 5.5 years of working full-time. And I would take time off, but I never did anything for myself with that time. I just didn't go to work, you know?
I guess to answer your question, yes, but not until recently. You know, I grew up in my family had nothing. My parents couldn't afford to fucking keep me under one house, you know. Went back and forth between my birth mother and my birth father, and then, you know, back to my Uncle Craig's and Aunt Dawn's house, to my Uncle Paul's house. Like, they kind of just tossed us around wherever they could, you know, and we had a really good family system. So like my uncles really looked out for us and our aunts really looked out for us. But like, we didn't have money. You know, my dad was constantly struggling to make ends meet and stuff like that. And whatever, he's his own thing. But I remember growing up and being like, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to owe a bunch of people fucking money and loans. I don't want to, none of that shit. And so at a very young age, I started working a lot. You know, started off working at ranches. You know, I would push mow 2 acres because my dad, say what you want about him, instilled a really hard work ethic. And, I moved out when I was still in high school. And I completed school while completing a vocational degree, while working two, maybe depending on what part of the year, 3 jobs, just so I could make money so I could pay for myself to like live. And then right out of that, I joined the military. I gave up an opportunity to go to college for free. I worked multiple jobs while I was still in the military because it was the National Guard. Then when we finally hit like deployments and stuff like that, I volunteered for my first tour in 2015. 6 months later, after coming home, I went and deployed with my unit. Then I volunteered to stay again. And by the time I got back to the States, I was burnt out. I was just so fed up with the military because, I told my unit that I wanted a specific promotion if they wanted to keep me in after everything that I had done. And they were like, no. I was like, great. So I just got out. I had 8 months of paid leave saved up for my 3 deployments back to back to back. And I was like, I'm just going to go move to Rhode Island, be with this girl I just met, my wife now. And I'm going to sit on her fucking couch. I'm going to be a housewife. I'm going to clean her house. I'm going to cook her breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm going to play video games for 8 months. That lasted about 2 months before she was like, you're getting a fucking job. But even just that little break was enough for me to get remotivated. And I got a job building yachts with Hinckley, where I got paid more than people that had been doing it for like 12 years, just because I had more experience doing a bunch of things. I could do fiberglass, electrical, carpentry, plumbing, mechanical, anything really. I could do anything. And so I was able to really kind of feel that out. And then I quit that job for an apprenticeship, which is just a year of not making any money, kind of getting bullied, kind of being forgotten. It was a weird experience. I didn't have a bad apprenticeship in the sense that like I wasn't like fucking cleaning gutters and shit like that. But no one helped me do anything. It was like 8 months in, and the owner was like, "Are you tattooing yet?" And I was like, "What? No, I haven't even touched a machine. I'm just cleaning everybody's shit." He's like, "Why not?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna shoot myself in the face." And then, I did my first tattoo, and a month later, COVID hit. And then when COVID ended, I was licensed. That was it. I did almost no tattoos before I got licensed. And now I'm kind of in this place where I can create my own work schedule and all this other stuff. All the while, I just bought a house. Then we ended up having kids, and now I'm traveling and I'm opening a business and I'm starting a podcast and I'm running D&D. And I think because I've never been comfortable not moving, I don't feel burnt out. Or I don't think I'm burnt out, but my body's burnt out. So like me, I'm motivated as fuck right now. I just want to keep going. Kate's like, dude, you just finished D&D and you decided to make a podcast? I'm like, yeah. Why? I'm like, because the idea of not doing something, the idea of just kind of, if I had time to watch TV or play video games, I don't know what I would do right now. I'm so used to just go, that I just have to do something. My body's tired though.
Yeah, I feel that.
I'm physically burnt out.
I recently changed jobs like about a year ago, and I kind of left the industrial.
I remember that, yeah.
The industrial scene of electrical, and I moved into contracting.
Yeah.
And I work for a very, very nice small business, family owned. I'm not going to plug, but
he takes really good care of us.
They take really good care of us, and they just do things the right way. And it was so reinvigorating because working for a factory, I was one of 3 electricians, but I was just a number in the grand scheme of things.
And, you were replaceable. They didn't care about you.
Yeah. And now it's just you're buying a house, you need to do stuff for the bank. Yeah, you don't have to use PTO. Just take off and just put it on your time card. Don't worry about it. Or even sometimes, we'll just take care of you. And
I remember one time you were like, yeah, they said to take the day off, but they still paid me, and I was like, that's crazy.
Oh yeah,
and they're like, they take good care of you.
Yeah, because he cares about us as people, and he doesn't treat us like workers, Yeah. And that makes me want to go out of my way
to work harder and work better.
Yeah. Oh, you need someone to do this call on a Sunday? I'll take care of it for you. I don't have anything on this Sunday. I'll do it for you, not a problem.
We need more people like that in the world in general. And specifically, we need more people like that running businesses.
Yeah. And I don't think I could ever go back to a big company after working for a small business like this. And I'm literally spoiled, and I got my love for my trade back again. You know, like it was so reinvigorating, and now I'm like doing all this different stuff, and I feel like I've really rounded out as an electrician, and now I'm like, I'm now teaching apprentices and stuff, and like it's really interesting because I've taught apprentices before, but not like on this like intimate level with them, and it's a fun balance because you want to let them do stuff and you want to let them make mistakes and figure it out. Yeah. But you're also working on other people's dime and other people's time. So it's a tough thing to balance. Yeah. And I'm never going to be the guy who's like, stand over there, watch me work. Or like, you're going to do all the work, I'm going to be on my phone. But there are things that is like an apprentice duty and you have to earn your steps. You know, like you're going to go carry the ladders. You're going to take the trips out to the van. And you're going to be better for that, you know? Yeah. And
you're gonna understand the importance of the little things.
Exactly. And I try to take care of my apprentices, so like I'll buy them lunch because it's a weird thing where we're doing the exact same work, we're doing the same job, and I'm making probably 2 to 3 times the amount of money they are
because of the experience.
Because of the experience and the license, but we're doing the exact same job, and I try to train my apprentices
to raise my babies
to be like good electricians, but good dudes, you know, because if you have a good journeyman who takes care of you and buys you lunch every once in a while and wants to make sure you're taken care of and you're doing stuff and learning, when you become a journeyman, you're going to train your apprentices like that. Exactly, yeah. And it's going to spread to like so much good energy in the workforce because it's such an aging trade. The average age of a licensed electrician in Massachusetts is like 68. It's crazy. And there's such like, even at my vocational school, like we had a shop of 20 kids and then there were 20 on the opposite cycle. So when we would be in academics, they would be in shop. I think maybe 6 of us are electricians right now of the 20.
That's crazy.
And like the vocational school I went to is great, but they push so hard to get you to go to college. And it's like, that's not why we have these schools.
No.
You know?
You go to a vocational school so that you can go straight into a physical job.
And like, not to say you can't go to college and do great things from a vocational school. Like I did all honors and AP classes all throughout high school, but I kind of got to a point where I was like, all right, if I go to college, what would I do? And do I want to do that more than I want to be an electrician? Like all my teachers are telling me, you have the grades, you have a great brain, you should do it. And I was like,
you have a great brain.
I just don't want to, you know? And that was kind of like a thing with my parents too, where like, we don't want to see you pulling wire for the rest of your life and ruining your body and all that. And I'm like, but it's what I want. You know, I can always go back to college.
I mean, if it's your calling, it's your calling, you know?
And my parents, like once they saw how into it I was and how successful I was in building myself up and like making a decent living and like networking myself to these different companies, and they understand and they're super supportive now. But at first they were kind of like, oh no, like we want you to go to college and have this.
I think it's a generational thing too. Yeah. Like back then, college held more weight, and it was important. So these, like they grew up being like, I wish I could achieve that, and then they're like, I'm going to build that for my kid. Yeah. But things have changed.
Yes.
It's now you don't have to go to college, and what are you going to do? Just enjoy all that debt? It's like it's one of those things where it's like. And there's going to be some similar shift, you know, when you have kids too, where you're like, when I was growing up, we really want to do blah, blah, blah. And you're going to be like encouraging your kids to do that because that's what you know.
Yeah.
And then one day it's just, they're going to be like, no, Dad, I really need to go to college. And you're like, what? No, we thought that was 2 generations ago. We don't do that anymore. Yeah. You could get a trade school, go straight to work and make good money. It's like, no, Dad, college. And it's like, but what about, who knows how the world changes? Kind of, history does that thing where it kind of repeats itself. But they're doing their best, and from what I could tell, I mean, dude, you've got this. I don't want to say, it's like, the word Teletubby life comes to life, and it's not the right term, but it's like your life is just really fucking wholesome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I mean, you realistically, like you have your high school, I mean, middle school sweetheart. You got middle school sweetheart. You are in the town. You're going to spend the rest of your life in this town.
Absolutely.
You're never leaving.
I love it here.
Your parents fucking love you. You just bought your house. You have a great job. You've got a good community of friends. You get to play your favorite games. You know, you work with a nonprofit. Like you have this
white picket fence.
Yo, you got the white picket fence. And, you know, my cousin Garrett's the same fucking way. Sweetest fucking dude. Lives in the same town he grew up, like he went to high school in. He works right down the road from his house. He owns his house. Him and his wife and their 3 kids. High school sweetheart, you know, and like the dude's, he's a volunteer firefighter, like just these white picket fence people. And it's crazy to see that because there's not a lot of that in the world and we need more of it. We need more Patrick Lawrences in the world.
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of strange, right? Because my older brother, right? He left New Bedford as soon as he could. You know, he went to Boston College, then he went to NYU. He lives in New York City. He travels the world for work. He goes all over the place, and that's the life he wants. You know, and this is just enough for me. This city. You know, I've worked really hard to get everything I've had, and it's come from this city. My parents came from nothing. You know, like they couldn't afford their rent at their first apartment when my dad was in the military, and my mom worked as a nurse and went to nursing school while pregnant, while my dad was deployed, while raising 2 other kids. And it's like, she worked at the hospital across the street from my house. And it's like, this city has given my family so much. My grandfather was a politician here, you know, my grandmother was a teacher. And it's just like, this city is really just enough for me. Like everything I've gotten in my life has been built through this town, and it's just enough. I don't have these dreams to move out of state or travel the world and see all these places. You want to keep building into it. I just want to build here.
And you're doing that. You're doing that with the community. Yeah. You know, you're doing that with your job physically. I think you're doing it right, man.
I appreciate that.
I love you, brother.
Love you too.
I think we're all out of time. I'll get you on again. We'll talk about some other stuff. We didn't even talk about D&D, man.
No, we didn't. We didn't get there.
That's okay. There's so much to talk about. So, I love you, brother. You got anything you want to say before we get off?
I would say
something profound. Watch, here we go.
Just remember, it's everybody's first life. Nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
We're just trying to figure it out.
You read a fucking motivational book before you got here. He's like, I'm going to be in a podcast. I got to get a good liner. No,
well, it comes from the quote of, it's your parents' first time living too, you know, but.
There's a quote, and I'll leave after this, but your kids are doing something for the first time, but so are you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's your first time as a father. It's your first time as a father of 2. It's your first time as a father of 3. You know, and same thing with mother. Like it's give yourself grace.
Yeah.
And I think that's I really like that. I like that. It's everybody's first time.
It's everybody's first time.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, dude. Thanks for coming in for last minute. Give Chelsea my love.
I will.
I am Rooster Quade.
I am Pat Lawrence.
And we are on one. Awesome. Fuck yeah, dude. I love this podcast. This is a lot of fucking fun, man. This is good shit. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking time out of your busy day to listen to Shoot the Shit. It means everything to all of us here at the On One Podcast. Now, if you like what you listen to and you want to help us out, give us a like, a comment, or even just share with a friend. And if you'd like to join us on set, please feel free to message us on Instagram at OnOnePod. We'd love to work with you. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.